welcome to the 1997 Second Division to his Hunter Rugby League Grand Final for Group 21. The first side onto the paddock this afternoon is Bendemeer. Number 1 will be Peter Darcy. Number 2 is Aaron Galvin. Number 3 is Stuart Little. Number 4 is Paul Hyson. Number 5 is Brian Booking. Number 6 is Tim Taylor. Number 7 is Dallas Thrift. Number 8 is Jack Tye. Number 9 is Scott Fitzgerald. Number 10 is Dallas Taylor, their captain coach. Number 11 is Darryl Rushbrook. Number 12 is Brett Lapham, and number 13 is Jason Reed.
Yes, Jimmy, the Sharks have now taken the field, led by their captain, Craig Cleary. We start with number 1, Justin Chapman, one of the coaches of the side. Wayne Jakes is on the wing. Mark Payne, Stephen Faith make up the centre combination, with Geoff Bauer on the other wing. Trent Gearing and Darren McKellar are your half combination. Greg Hamilton and Mick Howe for your front rows, with, as I said, Craig Cleary hooking. Adam Logue, Jeff Thompson and David Jordan make up your back row 3. Well, Jim, I think we've got a crowd and a half here for a third grade fixture today. It's quite remarkable the following these two sides have.
Yeah, Tick, rough head count here, there's got to be 800 to 1,000 people who are ready, and that's great not only for this clash. As you say, the Sharks and the Bendemeer sides have good followings. It's also good for the town of Denver today. They've waited a long time with the kerfuffle that's been going on to have a rugby league grand final, and we're just about to kick one off. I see that Matthew Delforce has got control of the game today, and he's probably the right man for this job.
Yeah, this is Delly's second year, I think, in coaching, right. and he's sort of lifted to himself to a grand final fixture already. It's a credit to himself.
Good to see, just about to kick off now.
Okay, Justin Chapman to kick off. He puts it just a short one in, about 30 metres in, brought up by the front rower, Jack Tye. Brought down well by Darren McKellar and Tomo. Move off to Dallas Taylor. This is the captain coach. He'll run all day, Jimmy. You look for this fella to have a big game. He's brought down about 40 out from his own line. And in comes the second rower now. Sharks have been called offside. Pretty enthusiastic early in this at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, Rodney, how the layoff will affect Bendemeer. They haven't played since major semi-final day. The Sharks have had one game more than them in that time. Both teams, I hope, don't suffer from a little bit of a rest. And here's the captain coach Taylor taking up again. You've picked that right there, Tick.
2 outs in about 4 sets,
yeah,
mate.
McGrath giving him a big rap in the Chronicle on Friday. Said to watch for him, his ball playing is supposed to be exceptional as well. Yep. The Sharks defence is up to it there with McKellar pulling him down. They send the backs now and through Tim Taylor, and he'll be brought down just before the quarter line there by Greg Hamilton and young Jordan. It's headed off left again through the hands of Bendemeer, and that's
Rushbrook brought down.
Yep. No, it'll be Brett Lapham. There's a change in the program there.
That is too, Brett Lapham.
Now there's a chip through, and Chapman's picked it up well and will take it off his line.
Yeah, Justin Chapman's brought down 5 metres out from his own line. We've got young Faith. He's taken off from dummy half. He's picked up another good 10 metres from there. We're now moving down the wing. We've got Jakesy making another good 15-20 metres.
Blindside plays there, Tick, to make good cheap ground.
Yep.
Need to build on this momentum now as Jordan takes it straight up the middle of the ruck there. He'll do that all day too.
Dave Jordan, honest in everything he does, mate. Yes, he'll be there.
Downtown from Gearing now.
That's a good kick down near that bottom corner. Bounces favoured the Sharks here. And we have
a mess of that. Payne is scooped on this and will score just to the right of the post. There's a good downtown move there. Gearing getting a good right foot kick away. Aaron Galvin, I think it was, over there on that wing, just failing to take the ball on the full. Took the option to let it bounce. Payne swooped on that to score the first 4 points for the Sharks. It's a good start for the Sharks, Tick.
Jim Miles, you're very correct there. The truth is that Mark Payne is probably one of the best opportunists in Group 21. He will not let an opportunity go by. Bendemeer's fault then to let the ball bounce, and sure as anything, there was Mark Payne to swoop on it.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a lot more of him in this game. It's good to see him inject in there early, but it'll be interesting to see how Bendemeer will actually bounce back from this.
He suffered through the the late part of the competition rounds and the early part of the final series with the bad hamstring. Looks like he's recovered from that fairly well. I hope that holds off for him all game. I'd just say, Ticker, Dallas Taylor won't be... I'd say he will be seething at letting the 4 points in early in the game, but I'd just be saying he'd be telling his wingers there to just make sure they take the ball on the full, not to put too much pressure on themselves, and to just not panic now and just wait for the opportunities. I think once the side starts to panic, they'll throw the game away. And that goes to the Sharks too. I just think they should just not panic now and then just settle down and play percentage football. I know it's an old cliche, but play out your sets of 6 and work for good field position is going to win this game today, and the team that does that the best will take it out.
The conversion is successful by Mark Payne. That takes the eye of the tiger. I think we're at the wrong ground at the moment, but still that puts the Sharks in front 6-0. Probably only, 5 minutes into the game. Jimmy?
5 minutes into the game.
Okay, Bendemeer to kick off through Dallas Thrift, is it? No, this is Tim Taylor, is it? Stuart Little. We'll get it right.
From Chapman there, and he'll ruck it back to just 15 out from halfway.
Here's Robert Jordan again, taking up another 5-10 metres made in the centre of the field, 40 metres out from their own line. Cleary at dummy half, picks up McKellar to Hamilton. Hamilton sort of makes another... Hamilton's lost the ball. He's actually had it's been raked out from him. A 2-on-1 situation, and I think you'll find Dallas Taylor was one in there, but he wasn't the culprit at the time. The culprit was, as soon as I see his number, it was the actual centre. No, it was a 5'8", Tim Taylor. Sharks kick it out just 2 metres into the, or 1 metre into the line of the Bendemeer boys' home field.
Gearing just taking the option there to just take the tackle. McKellar gives it away to Jordan, fumbles back, and this looks like Adam Logue takes the tackle. Cleary moves into dummy half, sends it to the left here. This is Jake's taking some pressure off his forward, makes it 10 into the Bendemeer half. It's a good tackle from Bendemeer. I like their defensive line tick. They're a good sliding unit. That's probably why the kick was so effective against it. They're probably compressed into the centre there, as that looks like Brendan Galvin taking the ball into the middle. Surprised to see Galvin on the field. He hurt his ankle quite badly in a training mishap, and it blew up again at work on Friday. But anyway, he's on the field now starting. Cleary pushes it to McKellar, onto Gearing. Gearing chooses to run the ball to... and looks like Jeff Bauer, perhaps.
Jeff Bauer, she's dropped it about
down the far corner. Chance there, Ticket have to get
I think it was a chance, mate. I got a feel on the ball to Jeff Bauer, might a little bit high, but still at this time of year, mate, you should be catching those.
Yeah,
it's a change over to Bendemeer. Bendemeer have just working it out 10 metres from their own line. Brought down by Jordan. Jordan comes. Here's Dallas Taylor again. He'll do this all day, Jimmy. I've seen this boy play before, and his work rate's incredible.
This is Peter Darcy now. This is what Brian McGrath described as a Wendell Sailor look-alike, and I don't think that's too far from the money.
He's pretty right there, isn't he? He's the fullback for Bendemeer. I think McGrath give him quite good raps too through the...
rap as well in the Chronicle.
Sharks are hunting as a pack again. They're in 3s and 4s into their tackles. Bendemeer to clear. They've cleared it down to Chapman about... The ball's running down about centre of the field, 30 metres out. Chapman brings it back. He's beat one. He couldn't beat the winger, but he's brought down about 2 metres from the sideline. Jakes taken from dummy half, only made another 2 or 3 metres, and then brought down by 3 Bendemeer defenders.
Very keen defence.
There is keen defence in there, Jimmy, isn't there? Here's Tomo. Tomo's made another 4 or 5 metres, but more importantly, moving it in from that sideline. And here goes Craig Cleary from dummy half, picking up another 5 or 10 valuable metres. Faithy in at dummy half, finding McKellar. McKellar to Hamilton. Hamilton's taking it straight up, and he's beat one. He's made another 10 metres. He's moved well and truly now into the half of Bendemeer, and it's a last tackle. Okay, we've got McKellar with the ball. He's put a nice little grubber down low, down into that corner again.
Sarah and Galvin again, but Galvin's made no mistakes this time.
Bauer is straight onto him this time.
As Peter Darcy brings it back across field, centering it up, working back over to his forward pack. He's grasped on the quarter there by Cleary, and Brendan Galvin comes right again here. Now Jeff Thompson right around the ankles. His defence has certainly improved in the back end of the year. His timing's just right now as Taylor gives it on to one of his centres. I think it's Paul Heiss. No, it was actually the winger Brian Booking. His play moves to the left now through the hands of the lock forward. That's Jason Reed, and that's a very good tackle from Brendan Galvin. I don't think his ankle's given him too much trouble at all downtown here at Chapman. Make no mistakes here, as he just lets it roll around, and he'll take it back up to probably about 10 metres from the halfway mark.
He's brought down on a nice, good, solid hit by the 5'8 there, Tim Taylor. He's played the ball. It's moved out to Mark Payne now, who's just sort of sifts around and finds another 5 metres. Jim, the call is 10 minutes into the game now, and the Sharks are starting to make some changes.
Mickey House has replaced Greg Hamilton.
There's been a blunder there by the Sharks, mate. They've coughed a ball up in their own half, and Bendemeer are now sort of moved into quite a nice position. Okay, they've moved it wide down into the bottom corner, where they've been tackled by 2 or 3 more Sharkies defenders. Mark Payne was one. No, Jordo, should I say. Here's this Dallas Taylor again, just taking inroads again, and there's been a penalty awarded here.
I'd just like to point out that Aaron Galvin's had a couple of ordinary passes thrown at him, and he's picked them up off his bootlaces, which just makes me think that first kick where he made that little blunder, maybe a bit of game nerves rather than positional play, and like I say, his handling out there is exceptional at the moment. So I'd say that first try came about because of a bit of nerves to let that ball bounce.
We're about 12 minutes into the game, Jimmy, and I think you'll find both sides are still feeling their way at the moment. They're just sort of playing it into each other. Bendemeer decided to take the kick at goal here.
I'd say the heat might be taking its toll too. I see Rob Beckingham making a few trips on the paddock there. Bendemeer trainers on now. I mean, we're under shade here, Tick. It wouldn't be real comfortable out there in a football jumper running around for 80 minutes today.
Actually, Jim, the start that Bendemeer had, it sort of wouldn't surprise me. You know, they turned up 15 minutes before the game, mate. They had bus trouble. There's players running here, there and everywhere. I know the group did delay the game. So when they walked onto the paddock, mate, they wouldn't have had the perfect preparation that they were looking for this morning.
Yep.
But still, to the Sharkies' credit, mate, they've capitalised on that sort of situation.
No, I think you're right, Rod. If this Bendemeer player puts this penalty over, it'll certainly do a lot to settle the Bendemeer players down. He moves in to take the kick now. He's hit it fairly well. It's gone left, and Chapman will bring this off the line, failing to make the ball go dead. That could hurt Bendemeer. They probably needed to put the Sharks deep into trouble here, and missing the kick was one thing, but failing to kick it dead or trap him in goal is another.
Here goes Brendan Galvin again, mate. He's taken on the role of leading the way here again. He found Cleary, who picked up another 3 or 4 metres. McKellar at dummy half has found Logue. Gus Logue has made another 3 or 4, and he's milked a penalty too, mate, running to players not back the 10 metres for Bendemeer. We have Big Mick Howarth now, mate, who's going to clear the ball out with his typical Aussie rule style of kicking. Always quite favourable with the Sharks, actually. Okay, Sharky. Oh, that's probably not a real good ball from McKellar at the time. I thought Trent Gearin was going to pick it up, but still he just coughed it up at the unlucky. Okay.
It's Brett Lapham bringing it out for Bendemeer, and he'll play it back now to Peter Darcy. And he wants to carry on with it a bit, Lapham with Jordan, but Matty Delforce has found the Sharks inside the required distance again.
And that was the correct call by Delforce, mate. I think you'll find there were 6 or 7 of them offside then. Yeah. Just not thinking at the time, but still.
Seems keen to keep these sides apart, which will be a good thing. A bit of free-flowing football won't hurt for the opening game of the grand final day today. And that's Darren Rushbrook carting the ball just into the Sharks territory now. He's about 15 into Sharks territory. They've sent it the blind. Through a good run by Tim Taylor, and he's taken a couple of defenders with him, but Wayne Jarks makes no mistakes there, right around the ankles with helping McKellar. They shifted through the backs now, and this is Peter Darcy now. He says, quick step on him, and that's a brilliant piece of play by Darcy, and he'll be held up about 2 out from the line. Good defence by the Sharks. They shouldn't let him get that far. He plays it back now to the centre.
There's Mark Payne has gone for an intercept.
It's gone backwards. Delforce is called, and the Sharks have been let off again. It's a good piece of play by Payne there. Like you say, he's an opportunist tick, and he made the most of a very, very skinny defensive line over there.
Anyway, the Sharks are now moving it out 45 metres from their own line. Should I say 35 metres from their own line through Jordan, was it? Galvin. He's in everything at the moment, Galvin. Here's Big Mick Howarth. Sort of the front rows are now doing the hard yards. Mick Howarth tried to pop one around the corner. I just don't think he's his Shark mate Tomo was ready for it. But you're right, Jim Miles. Not the right time for that matter. All part of the field to be popping balls like that.
second tackle in your own half. We spoke there earlier about the percentage, settling down and just settling into the game, not being away. I think he just needs to take that hard and then get up quick and work for better field position before chucking the miracle ball like that. I said Jeff Thompson's been replaced. I can't tell you who's gone on for him. It'll be Frank Beckingham. You won't lose anything there in Frank Beckingham. I've been impressed the last couple of times I've seen Beckingham playing as the Sharks give away another penalty for holding the player down in the tackle. They don't need that in their own half.
Yeah,
sorry, Tick.
Sharkies are just starting to make some fundamental penalties here, Jim. I think they need to just focus and sort of not get overawed with the type of game we've got, grand final or not. Still got to stay focused. This Dallas Taylor, he's bumped 3 off and then popped the ball to his hooker backing up. We now have Darren Rushbrook in the dummy half, finding...
I see, Tick, that Scott Fitzgerald just been replaced for Bendemeer. It seems a bit odd. One of your players that touches the ball most is your hooker, your dummy half player, has just been replaced. So I hope it's not an injury to young Scott Fitzgerald there. Be a shame that, although he just squirting a heap of water on him. So he might be just feeling the effects of that heat we mentioned there before.
Bendemeer tried to move the ball down the... That is a... Bendemeer tried to move it down to that bottom corner then, Jim, and that was a great tackle by Darren McKellar, and I think Jeff Bowers down there as well. They actually hunted as a pack the Sharkies in and forced the error. Yeah,
good driving defence there from McKellar, wrapping up the ball, get the assistance there from Bauer, and they both combined well to push the Bendemeer centre, number 3, I think it was Stuart Little, into touch there. That'll help the Sharks. They didn't need this pressure. It started with that pop ball in just inside their own half and developed into a penalty for holding the player down. Now they should work for good field position to get themselves out of trouble there.
Yep, Justin Chapman takes the first run in to the field. Here's Mark Payne, mate. He's hunting around outside 2 off the ruck. He can't be tackled, this boy. All of a sudden they're going to force him down to the ground. Cleary in at dummy half, picking up Jordan. Here's Jordan working again. Jordan's coughed the ball up off a big hit from, I think that was from the halfback from Bendemeer that actually put that on. And the number 7, if it is Dallas Thrift. Faithie makes a tackle on the fullback, Peter Darcy.
I see Sharkies having a willingness to work it to this blind side over here when it is the blind tick. I don't know whether it's a pre-game plan, but it's made him a few yards. But on that occasion, Jordan unfortunately coughed the ball up as the halfback Dallas Thrift works back over here, gives it onto the winger. Brian booking his tackle well there by Cleary.
Yeah, nice copybook tackle by Cleary then. I see the centre, Stuart Little's injecting himself into the game at the moment for Bendemeer. He's doing a lot of work. They tried a little grubber in behind the Sharks line, but was well fielded by
Jeff Bauer. Well read actually by Jeff Bauer. They've knocked it on it.
No, knock back call by knock on now.
Picked the knock on up and...
Sharkies are getting scrappy here, Jim Miles. I think Bendemeer are starting to get a little bit on top of them at the moment. They're playing the game down in their end, in the Sharkies' end of the paddock. And starting to control it.
Tick, I'd say, as we spoke about there before, which the Sharks just settle down again and stem the tide of this six here. I think they'll learn from it, and once they get out of their half, capitalise on again.
Jason Reid just took off from from the scrum base with the ball, and he's pulled up 5 out. We now have Bendemeer moving across the goal post through Dallas Taylor, through a dummy, and he was brought down well by Craig Cleary.
It's on over here on the right. They've got numbers.
They have got numbers, Jim, but 17.
Nick Howarth,
I think that's John Allen.
John Allen there. And he had to make that tackle there too, Howarth. Wants to hang around the ruck though. He doesn't want to get too sloppy. Jakes has well read that. Just in time. If he brings it out from his line, to be a good play of the day. Up, he's trapped, and the Sharks will be forced to defend for another set of 6 here.
It's good work by Jake to be in behind the line and read that. Close it down. But yeah, Bendemeer maintaining the pressure, Jim. They're really keeping the pressure on the Sharkies at the moment.
As I say there, Mick House need to make that tackle on John Allen, because every time John Allen's touching the ball, he's holding it out in front of him, putting the defence in two minds there, and the Sharks need to bottle him up early. Good take there from Dallas Taylor, and he'll cart the ball forward again to be met by...
He's been in everything today already, Jim, this boy. He's absolutely a workaholic. Bendemeer once again on the attack at the moment, but good consistent defence by the Sharks is keeping them well and truly in the game anyway. Bendemeer move it down the bottom side of the park through their 5'8" Tim Taylor, who's brought short, probably 20 metres out. Here's this Dallas Taylor again, and he's running at will at the moment. He's brought down just in front of the post, probably about 3 metres out.
Good field position here.
Great field
Bendemeer
position.
working to the right here through the Wendell Sailor lookalike. That's a good ball, and it looks like the centre, number 3, Stuart Little, will score out wide. Had the numbers there, Bendemeer. I think they were always going to score, Rodney, and again, just works down to the Sharks not having, doing silly things in their own half and surrendering field position to Bendemeer. Easy, cheap field position.
Show no mercy. Show no mercy. Come on, show no mercy. Yeah. Come on.
That work there. Peter Darcy was this time, took the one off the ruck roll into his own hands, and he drew and he passed just at the right moment. He drew 2 players into him to give Stuart Little just enough room to score 10 in from the corner post there.
Yeah, Stuart Little didn't have that much to do, but what he did, he had to go still run through the 2 defenders to score. He did a lot of work. Actually, this Stuart Little for...
yeah, it looks like he's paying the price for a tick. He's got cloud coming out his nose like I don't know what.
He has too, yeah. So we now see 6-4 in favour of the Sharks, with Darren Rushbrook about to kick for the Bendemeer boys.
So Stuart Little might have to go to the blood bin here unless they can stem this flow of blood here very quickly. He certainly copped a good one on the end of the nose. Anyway, number 11, Darren Rushbrook, his conversion kit is just
short.
fallen short of left hand upright. So it's the Sharkies still holding on, 6 points to 4. One of the blessings of that try being scored, Tick, is now the Sharks will kick deep into Bendemeer territory, and if they can put together a good defensive set of 6, might put some
they have opened
pressure
that
back
little up,
onto
mate.
Bendemeer.
They have opened Little up, Jimmy. He's come off the paddock at the moment. I think he just has a bleeding nose, but with the new rules in the game, he'll have to be replaced until they can fix up the bleeding. Anyway, Big Mick House to kick off for the Sharks. Sharks leading 6-4.
Looks like
we're
number
probably
15.
about 20 minutes into the first half.
Looks like number 15, Shane Wheeler, I think, has replaced Stuart Little there.
Deep kick by the Sharks. It's come off the Wendell Sailor of Bendemeer, their fullback Peter Darcy. Craig Cleary's tried to tackle him, and Cleary's hurt too now, mate. Okay, Hamilton makes a tackle on the Bendemeer second rower.
Darren Rushbrook, is it?
Is brought down, or is that the replacement? Hard to keep up with him. Anyway, this is a halfback for Bendemeer that's just been tackled by Jordan and Howarth. Jordan's in there doing a lot of work for...
Again, Dallas Taylor controlling the ruck there.
No, they've
but
coughed
the
it up.
Bendemeer have coughed the ball up, and it looks like Brendan Galvin gets up, plays the ball. Cleary sends it off now to Big Mick House, who just straight upright runs in, takes 4 defenders with him, but he's eventually rolled onto his back.
That's good work by Mick House, Jim. You see, this time he took the 4 defenders to bring him down. You know, he's making them work. That's what he should be doing all the time.
Frank Beckenham must do some work there too. Play this back to Cleary. Looks like come left here to Jordan. No, Cleary takes the open side, goes himself, and must not have been able to get his hands free.
He
there.
mustn't be
Gearing
showing any
skirting
effect
around
of
the
that
ruck
hit
there.
he just took a moment ago. He's just
This is
Dave
Rob.
Jordan at the moment, is it?
Yep.
Yep, he's
Oh,
put one out the
ball
back to
McKellar.
McKellar.
McKellar going into the post.
Oh, McKellar's
that's
driven
good
back
defence by Peter Darcy.
That was great defence actually by Darcy.
Oh, that's a brilliant ball by Jordan, and Mick House must be so close there, but he'll get up and play. Looks like Gearing wants it on the left here. Howard can get up and play it quick enough. The Sharks have got him here.
Oh, Dave Jordan tried to take that himself from dummy half and is actually knocked on.
Now, Mick House hurt there, Tick, that's fair enough, but he needed to get to his feet a lot quicker than that and play the ball quick. Gearing had something on the blind. He actually had maybe a one-man overlap, and that was spoiled by the slow play of the ball, and Bendemeer have cocked it up again in their own quarter. Like I said, Tick, the Sharks needed that kick-off, and it has put pressure on Bendemeer, and now they're not responding as the Sharks did in their own half. As Payne carts the ball back in towards the post, he's about 10 out now. He'll play this back to Cleary. Cleary comes the left here, and that's gone on to Jakes. Jakes has got one man to beat. Jakes will go very close in the corner here. No, he's taken it back inside, and he'll be pulled out. No, he scored.
He's put that
Del
down,
Boss
Jim
looks at the touch judges, and that's a try.
That is a great effort by Wayne Jakes there, mate. He had the line inside at one stage, but he had 4 cover defenders from Bendemeer come across then to nail him. They all lined him up against the sideline. Jakes, he took the option to step back inside, and he stepped in through all 4 of them then.
He'll play this back.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going on. Tough, tough. When the going gets tough, the tough get.
there, Tick. He had a hell of a lot of work to do there when he caught the ball from McKellar. I'm from Justin Chapman. McKellen spotted it was on the left here and give it to Justin Chapman, who drew and passed, but unfortunately Jakesy had a few players marking there, but he did the right thing. Like you said, he used the touch line there to his advantage, took the option to step back inside and carried one player. Had a lot of work to do and responded well to the challenge. Also getting back to the Mick House, sloppy play the ball there. In all fairness to Mick, he has been replaced, so I'd say in that tackle real close to the line there, he did cop a bit of a knock, which forced him to be a little bit sloppy in the play the ball, but no, it doesn't matter. The Sharks have still come away with the 4 points.
Big man in this heat, mate. It's good to keep replacing him, keep him rotating, keep him working when he is on the paddock. Get the best out of him, then get him off there. I think that's a great...
Mark Payne to convert Jakesy's try here, strikes it well, but he's pushed it out left. That's bad luck. So that makes it 10 points to 4.
10 points to 4, and there's still 10 minutes to go in the first half of this third grade fixture. Okay, Tim Taylor, Bendemeer 5'8", is about to kick off for Bendemeer. This too will see Bendemeer now have field position, and they have dominated when they've been down deep in the Sharks end of the field.
What is pleasing though, if you're a Shark supporter, Tick, Bendemeer only faced nearly 2 sets of 6 there in their own half after the couple of little mistakes they made, whereas the Sharks did persevere for nearly 4 sets of 6 before they succumbed to the pressure of Bendemeer for the try. But I mean, this is rugby league and anything can happen as the Sharks now work it through faith right onto the halfway mark.
There's some good work by Gus Logue previous to that too, mate. Big front rower taking up another 10-15. Here's
Galvin takes it on.
Galvin's found a runner nearly every time he's hit the ball up. He's actually looking good.
Frank Beckingham sets up Gearing. Gearing gives it away to Chapman. Chapman away on the right-hand side there. That's good football.
And Chapman stayed in the field of play over there. We now have Payne finding Cleary. Cleary to McKellar. McKellar's found Galvin again. Galvin, he's actually
tweaked the miracle ball, but it's come away.
Yeah, it's still play on. It's called backwards. It's the 5th and last for McKellar. He's put a kick.
Cross kick. And Payne Johnny on the spot again. He'll put pressure on the fullback here. No, it's gone touch and goal. Much better set of 6 from the Sharks.
That was. They've carried it the length of the field this time, Jimmy. They worked out hard from their own, deep inside their own through Gus Logue and a couple other forwards. Brendan Galvin still having a great game. Anyway.
Bendemeer taking opportunity there. The Sharks a bit sloppy to get back to 10 for that 22 tap and ran straight at a heap of blokes with their backs to him. As Taylor,
by Hamilton.
Again, his work rate's outstanding, Tick.
And Frankie Beckingham.
That's a replacement there. That's Jamie Beard taking that over the left there, but he's met hard by Trent Gearing. Trent Gearing won't give him anything in defence either. He's a very hard defender.
Been very impressed watching him to go around this year. I think he's been one of the missing pieces of the jigsaw puzzle for the Sharks.
Bit of a hobble there now to him. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. He's got a gifted set of hands, this Trent Gearing, as Taylor chips and chases. Toes through his own kick there, but Jakes is very safe as a bank there and will just be grasped in his own in-goal area there.
Bendemeer boys are starting to show a bit of fire in their attack and defence at the moment. There's a bit going on in behind the line at the moment. Be interesting to see how Matt Delforce handles this. Nice and easy. He's cleared it up and sent the Bendemeer boys back to their defensive pattern. Anyway, we'll see a goal line drop out from the Sharks. It's going to be taken by Craig Cleary. Craig Cleary to kick. And he's kicked that nice and deep. Actually, it's on the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah, actually.
That'll be knocked back there.
By Jack Tye. Jack Tye is just bringing it back into... He's brought it back to the 10 metres into the Sharks line. 14, I think, is Darren... No, not Darren Rushbrook.
It's Mark Sampson.
Mark Sampson, mate, yes.
But he's driven backwards in that tackle there from Wayne Jakes. So I'd say he's just smarting a little bit from that in-goal location there. This has come through to, it looks like their halfback. That'll be Dallas Thrift. He looked like he was lost there, but a little step got him a couple of yards there that he thought he wouldn't have. And this is John Allen again, and he's given that straight to Darcy with a great ball.
That is a great effort. I'll tell you who that was then. Brendan Galvin covered across from nowhere. I don't know what a front rower's doing back there, mate, but he absolutely saved that.
Yep.
He really helped Justin Chapman in the back line then, and that's a credit to themselves.
That was a brilliant ball there from Dallas Thrift. He's picked up Peter Darcy. That must be a set move. Like you say, that is great work from a big fella of Brendan Galvin's stature to get over there and cover. He's feeling the effects of it now as Beckingham deuces him up with water. I wouldn't mind thinking that Brendan Galvin will make it to the bench now. This ankle may be taking its effect, but either way, he's done the Sharks proud.
Darren found Hamilton inside, And Hilton's tackled just short of the halfway line. Here's Gus Logue, he's taken it up to the halfway line.
A bit sluggish in the forward, the Sharks now. They need to get a bit keen, need to take it forward. This is where they need to put their hands up and be counted as Gearing looks for the downtown move. He's kicked over to Galvin's wing there again. Aaron Galvin, he'll go deep this time. He has there. He's read this well. He's letting it roll around down there. He's let it go into touch too. That's a good field position for the Sharks.
Yeah, good kick by Trent Gearing then. He's just using his brain, mate, and he's taken field position at this point in time.
And Brendan Galvin has made the bench.
There'll be 5 minutes to go in the first half of this fixture. Tim, with a scrum being set down, 5 metres in from the, or 10 in and 10 out from the Bendemeer's bottom corner.
See the Sharks' defence be nice and patient here, but still put a little bit of pressure on Bendemeer and see if they can come up with a mistake in this quarter or actually Bendemeer's half and just get a little bit more pressure on them before half-time because...
See, Darren McKellar's been moved to the wing too for the Sharks at the moment, so the Shark halfback might be having a little bit of trouble at the moment. Anyway, Bendemeer have moved it out through a scrum win, and then there's been two. This is their second dummy half move. I think 17 is John Allen. He's just been brought down. Here's Taylor again trying to find runners. Try to find a runner in Peter Darcy. Yeah, Peter Darcy follows him and follows him quite well, actually. Good little combination, that. Okay, the boy in the headgear is their front row. Is it Jack Ty?
Jack Ty, I think,
yep.
Tick. Yep. Dave Jordan needs to watch his marker work there. I think he could have been penalised for being too quick as Bow lets his ball bounce. Galvin thought he was going to get the debt repaid. Bow did great brilliant ball away there.
And here's Justin Chapman down
taking it on over there near the Sharks grandstand, but he's grass just 10 metres inside the Bendemeer half. He can get a good play the ball here. Cleary wants the ball quickly. It comes wide here to Payne now. No nonsense from Payne. He takes it forward, looking to offload. No, he just succumbed to the tackle.
No, that's a good ground still, mate. Centre of the field, 25 metres into their
Jordan on the Faith. Faith will wedge this back in behind the ruck, which he does, and that's a good run. That's picking up where the lazy players were. He's flicked it backwards to Jordan who offloads again to Jakes. Jakes again works in behind the ruck to where the Bendemeer players are lazy, but he's met in solid defence there by their lock, Jason Reid. That's a good tackle from Jason Reid that had to be made. Cleary sends it here to the left. That's McKellar. McKellar turns it back inside of Jordan. That's a great run from good backing up by Jordan, who gets it free again. There's Cleary, offloads to McKellar. It's come wide to Frank Beckingham here. Beckingham needs to put the head down. He'll score. Frank Beckingham scored. And Delforce has gone down. Matt Delforce has gone down in front of the Denman dressing room there. Smile on Delforce's face. Let's not take that or anything away from the Sharks there, Tick. That was a try from nothing. Bendemeer deserved to see a play the ball happen there. They'd done the right thing by bottling Muswellbrook up near the line there. And the Muswellbrook play, I can't recall off the top of my head who it was.
Jim, I can go through it with you, mate. What we...
When you make your move, I won't hesitate. If you take too long, you can be too late. This time I'm waiting to win. Come see, don't wait around for another chance. Make your mind up, make a play. You should be playing to win this time.
Side then to Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan stormed through. We thought he was going to get there himself. Bendemeer covered, but Jordan popped some ball out the back. I don't know what he did, mate, but he popped it out the back, picking up a Shark runner who found...
Craig Cleary coming into dummy half, but was surprised to get the ball into his hand.
Who found Darren McKellar again out wide, who threw it out to Frankie Beckingham, and then Frankie Beckingham did similar work to what we've seen happen earlier, and once again stepped inside to plant another 4-pointer for the Sharkies.
Again, you've got to pay credit there to Frank Beckingham, who took it upon himself with work to do, as Wayne Jakes' try was. There was a lot of work to do. He knows that these are the games where you've got to do that hard work. He put his head down, never said die, and crashed over for a well-earned Sharks 4-pointer. The Sharks needed that one to go into the break because Bendemeer, again, were looking good around the halfway mark.
Okay.
Payne.
Version not successful, so I think you'll find the score is...
Was 14. Not successful.
No, not successful. 14-4?
Yep.
Craig Cleary's come off, mate, for a well-earned spell. There's only about 4 or 5 minutes to go in this first half. He's been replaced by... who's wearing 14 for the Sharkies?
No, I think I see Rod Vaughan on now in number 16.
That's who it is.
But I'd say they might move someone into the dummy half hooking position in Cleary's. All right, call from Wayne Langdon there is Darren McKellar will probably go to hook a dummy half.
Gotcha.
Which good safe set of hands in there to replace Cleary. Rod Vaughan will probably be playing out wide here somewhere. It's his usual position. Usually he skirts out around the wing.
Jason Reed kicks off. It's caught by Big Mick House on the full, and Mick's winded up, and he's brought that back to 10 metres short of the halfway line. That's a good run by the big boy. Here's Tomo. Tomo brings it in another 5-6 metres made, and he's brought short just 5 metres from halfway.
Vaughan's gone to dummy half there, and he's given it off to Adam Logue, who takes a hell of a hit on the halfway mark there.
That's
from the centre. Paul Hyson.
Gus Lake gets up, shakes it off. Anyway, the Sharkies move it out through Mick House. Mick House has made another.
Actually, Vaughan has assumed the dummy half role here, Tick, and I hope he responds well. He's a good, talented, quick learning player, this Rod Vaughan.
Gearin moves it wide.
Jeff Bauer again.
Jeff Bauer.
Get up and play. That's the fifth and last. It's coming left here. Will the Sharks run this? Jordan's got it. No, Jordan chooses to roll it in behind there. Bendemeer have cleaned up well, but that's a good tackle there to put pressure on Vaughan.
There's some wind in the Sharky sails at the moment, mate. I think they've picked it up a notch. You know, they've got that sniff that this could be another victory to the endless list of the Sharkies. Sam Hunt. Now I spoke too soon. The halfback from Bendemeer has just made a nice 40 metres.
Cleaned up
by Faith. Okay.
Yeah, good work. Faith makes a double there to help Frank Beckenham, who had the overlap. He's played that forward. He can't play that forward. Matt Delfor says, you cannot play it forward, son. And this will be just the brew that the Sharkies need. Darren McKellar got a big smile on his face there. He knows that the Sharks needed that break. They're in 6s and 7s. Beckenham caught there on his own. In no man's land, really, with Bendemeer having the overlap.
It was a case of speaking too soon then, Jimmy. What happened was we give a praise to the Sharkies, and all of a sudden they fell away in 6s and 7s in their defence. Anyway, Mick Alf puts the ball out 10 metres into the Bendemeer half.
Vaughan to take the tap here. Jake's moving forward. Jake's... Oh,
he used his head then, the young Vaughan.
Yeah, it's good thinking from young Vaughanie. He's going to rise to the challenge here. I see him make 2 tackles in a row there. Nothing silly here, Vaughanie. Just play the ball back to McKellar. McKellar gives it on to Adam Logue, who drives it forward, and he's met hard there by Jack Ty.
Adam Logue put his hand up in the last 10 minutes, mate. He probably made 4.
Vaughnie's made an opportunity here out of dummy half on his own. He's a bit slow to react there. He's too keen to give it to his players. He's got to be looking now with the Bendemeer defence tied. Here comes through McKellar to Chapman. Chapman will scheme here. Chapman keeps the ball. Chapman's kept it, and he scored!
Chapman has planted that down there. That was all on his own then. He threw more dummies than what's usually sold down at the chemist, but I'll tell you what.
Tick, you've probably got to pay a bit of credit there to Steve Faith.
Yes.
Faithy moved to the inside there to give Chappie that option. Chapman took the dummy and carried a defender with him. Very lucky to get the penalty here for the Bendemeer player playing it forward. But they capitalised on the mistake and actually turn the pressure back into Bendemeer. So that's a good lead for the Sharks to go to the break with. Very pleased with the work that Rod Vaughan's done since being on the field, replacing Cleary. I see Cleary's just put the headgear on. Cleary may just be going back on. And nevertheless, if that's the case, for the 5 or 6 minutes that Vaughan's been on there, he certainly can hold his head high. He's pulled off a couple of good tackles, and his distribution has been clean and crisp from dummy half. Anyway, Payne moves in to convert the try. Attempted conversion. He sprayed this one to the right, so that's unsuccessful. That'll make it about 18 to 4.
18 to 4,
in the Sharks' favour.
Payne's only been successful from 1 from 4, but still.
In about the 34th minute now, just coming on, about 10 seconds to go, Tick. They'll be lucky to get this kick-off done, I think.
Yeah,
Sharks, no mistake, catch this and just cart it back into the territory. As the hooter goes now, Bendemeer kick-off, and have regathered but knocked it on, luckily for the Sharks. That would have been the play of the day on the half-time break. Bendemeer player disgusted with himself a bit. But there we go, Tick. We'll go to the half-time break now. 18 points to 4 is I know it's big lead, but this is grand final day. Funny things happen in grand finals, but if I was the Sharks players, I'd be very happy with that lead, but they need to come out of the break and capitalise on the pressure that they've been applying to Bendemeer.
Yes, Jim, I still believe we've got a big game to finish off this next 35-40 minutes in the third-grade fixture. I think the side that starts with the right attitude will go on to win the game. She's still anybody's as far as I'm concerned, and let's see what the Sharkies can pull out of there.
Tick, what would your opinion be now? I know you're touched it very early in our call there about the Bendemeer players perhaps suffering from the lack of pre-game preparation as their bus was delayed for whatever reason. They haven't been able to source that out yet. But do you still think that they may not have overcome that, or do you just think the Sharks' pressure has
Jim,
been...
I reckon after that first try, they had no options to switch on then. It's grand final football, and if they hadn't switched on by then, they never will.
Yeah, fair call. Your opinion on the way Matt Delphos is handling the game?
I think he's doing a great job out there. I can't criticise him one way or the other. I think he's done a great job, and credit to himself.
And in the second half, Tick, if you were the Bendemeer captain coach, your game plan for the second half would be?
Well, I think they've just got to lift their intensity in everything they do now. They're down by 14 points. They have no options but, you know, if they all crawl off, you know, and bleeding to death, mate, that's their option. They've just got to lift everything, you know. There's nothing left after today, mate. So what they've got to do is lift their notch, probably by another 20%, and then shut the Sharkies out, and then take it from there, mate. But, you know, today's it, you know. It's all over after today.
I have to agree. And then conversely, if you were McKellar and Chapman over there, your words to your team would be?
I'd get them to sort of like still concentrate on the game ahead, and really concentrate on their silly little penalties and you know, ball control. You know, they're the ones that are in the box seat, and if they concentrate on what they've got, their 14-point lead, but yet at all times they must still try and score the next point. You know, don't close it down. That don't happen in grand final.
I'd have to agree with you, Tick, there. I think if Bendemeer come out in the second half and not throw it away, get their heads up in the air and start afresh. I mean, if the Sharks can score 14 points in the first half, Bendemeer's got to be able to do it in the second half. So they need to get their heads up, take the second half with renewed enthusiasm, whereas the Sharks have got to come back out and work for good field position, better field position they've been doing, and not make any mistakes in their own half. I think that if my memory serves me correct, the Bendemeer try was scored by a couple of silly mistakes in the Sharks' half, and they couldn't dig their way out of the hole they dug themselves into. So I think field position is the key for the Sharks in the second half, and more renewed enthusiasm for the Bendemeer side when they come back out.
Yep, that's what we'll see.
Bendemeer returning to the field, Rod Tiggle, after the break there. Just say we need to see them come back on with renewed enthusiasm, however you say, to see Stuart Little out there about to take the kick-off, so he's recovered from that bleeding nose he had there earlier.
Yeah, Bendemeer, mate, they've really got to lift it. They've got no options, I suppose, but to lift it. Stuart Little, when he scored that try, Jimmy, he went off, and we didn't see him back on the paddock until probably only about a couple of minutes to go. I thought for a centre, he sort of did a lot of organising, a lot of talking out there. So, yeah, it'll be good for the Bendemeer boys to have him back on the paddock. Dallas Taylor, mate, absolutely incredible what he's done out there. He's been in everything.
I'd like to know how many hit-ups he's done.
Incredible, mate. And that Peter Darcy has been following him around like a bad smell, mate. He's been everywhere Dallas Taylor is. Darcy's been there, and Darcy's made some good ground. He nearly scored there earlier. It was incredible how close he went to scoring. But
perfect criteria for a fullback is just to roam around your ball distributors, and if they get that loose one away and create a gap, you're going to make yards every time, and he has done. Good turn of pace on him too. I like his defensive game. He talks his players around the paddock well, and his one-on-one tackling's not bad as well.
I think the Sharks have just about spread it right across the whole 13 of them, mate. I sort of don't see too many major standouts, but they're all working and working well, mate. So credit to all of them.
Jeff Thompson's been asked to bring it back into the field after Chapman gloved a high ball. Hello, there's been a clash of heads here. Thompson and the Bendemeer player number 12, that is Brett Lapham, have clashed heads. I think Thompson's come the worst out of it, which is a bit of a shock to me, because I know from me days playing other sports with this bloke, he's got a head on him like a brick wall. But anyway, he is down now with Gary Osmond looking at him now. Lapham seems to come away unscathed. The trainer is looking at him at the back there, but no, bit of hands on hip. He'll be right. Yeah, Thompson holding the back of the skull there. Hardest part of his body, but it's still showing the effects there. And the scrum was packed. Thompson must have knocked it on in that
must have lost
exchange.
It, mate. Yep. So that's a nice early break that Bendemeer were looking for. This is what we talked about the half-time break, Jimmy. They need to lift the intensity, try and force the errors from the Sharkies, and then see if they can get on top. Well, let's see what the next 35 minutes untails. Anyway, Peter Darcy has just been brought down. Oh, that's a penalty for sure. No. Okay, Darcy played the ball. The centre, Paul Hyson, has taken it in, centre of the field, 30 metres out. Here's Taylor. Taylor's running up, looking for runners. He has...
Oh, got the arms free, but he give it straight into the hands of Mark Dog Payne. Payne, he'll take the option here to take the first tackle. He's 15 metres out from halfway line.
As I said, Jim, I was an opportunist, mate. Never let a chance go by. Faith's brought it in just to the blind side.
There's a swinging arm there, gone in there, but it's been missed by the touch judge. That might have been a square up from before. It might have been the bloke that give Mr. Little the bleeding nose there. But anyway, Tick, we shouldn't dwell on that aspect of the play. Bendemeer had that opportunity there, and I wouldn't say they wasted it, because Taylor, doing his normal game plan, took the ball to the line, got his hands free and offloaded, but his supports had overrun him, and that's an incredible penalty there from Matt Delforce. But anyway, you got to listen to him. Bendemeer
have come out of this second half, mate, firing.
Well, like you said, Tick, they've got to hold their head up, and they've got a lot of work to do, and the only way to do is just get a bit of mongrel into them, and they have. Tap will be taken by Scott Fitzgerald. He's giving this on to Taylor. Will Taylor get the hands free? No nonsense. He's taking it into 4 or 5 Sharks defenders there. Attracts a lot of attention, Tick.
Come on, Jack, you said.
This is Scott Fitzgerald, who's just taken off from dummy half, mate. He's brought down. He only scampered another 2 metres. Okay, we're looking for... this has gone to Tim Taylor out in the 5'8" position, who's taken down the bottom end of the park into the Sharks.
John Allen into first receive here again. I like the way he directs play, this boy, but he's got not many runners at the moment, Tick, but number 11, Darren Rushbrook, has made a few yards there where there wasn't many to make. Fitzgerald sends it to blind to number 14, that's Mark Sampson, and he's well tackled there by Craig Cleary.
He's full of running straight out after the break, mate, so Bendemeer, they've come out.
The ball high here to Bauer, testing Bauer out. Bauer has stanced it quite well. There's a good set of 6 from Bendemeer, and they've forced the... Bauer must be in goal there, which I'd say he is, and Delforce has said there will be a line drop out there.
He must have been outside the field of play and then tackled back inside. Otherwise, I think you'd find it would be a 20 metre. Would it not?
I think you're right there.
Sharks. So anyway, that was good work by Bauer under pressure.
Good set of 6 by Bendemeer. It'd be just what they need in this second half stanza, as Cleary clears the ball from his own goal line, and that's fielded by, I think that's their lock, Jason Reed, is it not? And he's taken the ball hard back into the Sharks territory, and he's given on to number 15 near. That is Shane Wheeler. He's milked the penalty there. The Sharks well inside the required distance. Delforce again showing no nonsense with this, keeping these sides apart.
Yeah, it's a good tackle by Thompson Lowe, and there was 2 or 3 other Sharky defenders over top then. Is in Jordan and Trent Gearing.
Allen dictating play there. He fed it round the back to Taylor, but the Sharks have read it well. Bendemeer just overrunning the support. The support player is just overrunning the ball carrier.
Actual knock-on caught against Sharks then, so I think you'll find it'll still be Bendemeer's feed and loose. They're in great field position at the moment, Bendemeer. They've come out on top in this first few minutes of the second half.
Set play off the scrum here, Ticks. Oh no, the Sharks have regathered the ball. No, he'll ask for it to be fed again. McKellar Johnny on the spot there. Lightning reflexes as Allen feeds it again. He's bringing it open here to Tim Taylor. He's taken them on himself. Oh, he's only centimetres away. That's good defence by the Sharks. He's
been held up over line. That is a great effort by the Sharks defence, but I think you'll find it's still Bendemeer's feeding loose.
It will be, Tick, but I've got to give a lot of credit to Taylor there. He took it upon himself there to do similar to what Justin Chapman did in the first half there for the Sharks. He tacked the line. He never give up until the referee obviously hadn't held, so he kept going forward as the lock. That'll be Jason Reed. He's caught by McKellar. Plays this back sloppily to Stuart Little clears it. This has gone out to Peter Darcy now. Darcy is in and away here. He's put pressure right on Vorney there. Vorney's knocked flat on his bum, and Peter Darcy will score. That's a brilliant individual try, that, Tick.
He's been threatening to do something like that all game, Jim. I think you'll find that it was just a matter of when was he going to explode, and he sure has. He absolutely knocked off our...
Rod Vaughan. I'm sorry. Dallas Taylor will be quite happy with that result. They need to continue to apply pressure, but again, Tick, like the first half try, I think the Sharks are suffering field position there. A little bit of pressure on them. The kickoff will do them the world of good. Surrendering the 4 points is not good, but the field position from halfway to deep kickoff will do them good. That, I believe that Peter Darcy needs to do more of that. He's obviously a good broken field or open field runner. He took the chances on there outside his man. If Vaughan had have made that tackle, Vaughan would have been the hero, but Darcy's done the right thing to push him off and score a great individual try, which has been converted by Stuart Little, so this is pressure right back on the Sharks.
All of a sudden it's 18-10, Jimmy, and that's what
and
we
the
talked
Sharks
about.
now have the work to do. I said that one side can score 14 points in the first half, the other side can justified to be able to do it again in the second half. Good start for Bendemeer, just what they needed.
So anyway, we've got Justin Chapman to kick off. For the Sharks, he's kicking down to that bottom corner. It's only a shallow kick, really.
Well,
It's found
Taylor's
Taylor
caught
on
that
the-
well, and he's carted it back hard too. Got all the skills, this boy, Tick.
He
Very
has, hasn't he?
impressed with his game. Got on the blind for number 15, that's Shane Wheeler, yeah. It's a good run. We have to apologise to all the Bendemeer people that may listen to this tape, but we haven't watched too many games of Bendemeer this year, and we're trying to read off the
That was Darren Rushbrook
scorecard
then
here.
that's been brought up and tackled dead on halfway. Okay, we now have moving the ball. This is their, correct me if I'm wrong, their lock,
Jason Reed.
And he's been in everything too today, Jimmy. He's done a lot of good silent work out there. Anyway, Bendemeer are moving it wide. Here's a try scorer, Peter Darcy. He's bumped off and up, actually.
That's a good run there.
Darcy is running at will at the moment, but he has left Darren McKellar.
Yeah, wincing in agony. No, McKellar's decided to get up and join the line. That's a good kick. Chapman, has made a meal of it, and Bendemeer have scored. Bendemeer have scored through, I can't tell you who it is at the moment. I think it might be the winger from this side. It's Aaron Galvin, I think.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone.
See, Peter, what do they call him? They call him the
Wendell Sailor of
mate.
Bendemeer.
He absolutely is just started this second half on fire, and he's lifted these Bendemeer boys. The Sharkies are going to have to quieten him down and take him right out of the game, mate. I don't know if that means starving him or putting a few big hits on him, but at the moment he's making it. He stood up and said, "It's my game," and said to the Bendemeer boys, "Follow me." 2
bumping, grinding runs for 2 tries, Tech, and it's put Bendemeer right back into the game. I think, no, I have to take it back. Number 5, I think, Brian Booking was the try scorer then. He was Johnny on the spot. I mean, that's what rugby league tries are about. He was there when McKellar spilt the ball to ground it for Bendemeer's 3rd try. Little's attempt now is a good kick. That is be just short, I think. No, he's gone over. Short Little converts.
So all of a sudden it's 18-16, 2 points in it, and we're only about, what, 4 or 5 minutes into the second half, Jimmy.
Adam
It's only
Lowe
just begun.
returns to the fray. Jeff Thompson taking a spell. I think that McKellar and Chapman and co just need to calm this side down. This needs to be a deep kick.
I think we need a few of the bigger boys. I need to see someone like Craig Cleary stand up and say, look, whatever they can do, I can do better. Clears will lead the way.
The danger man again, Darcy, but he's offloaded this time. And the Sharks.
Cleary lay around that was on that Jason Reed.
Oh, it's Jason Reed wants to have a go with McKellar again there. There must be some fire in the game out there, and Taylor's only mistake of the game, but the Sharks have punished themselves by being inside the required distance.
Yep, they weren't back.
There's certainly some fire in the Bendemeer's players' belly here now, which is what they needed, what we said at the half-time break, and that tap restart will be taken about 12 into the Sharks' half as Fitzgerald steps up to take, gives it to Taylor.
Again,
Taylor gloves it clean this time, and he's brought
10, and he still wants to keep going, this bloke. He's incredible at the moment. Anyway, here's 15, Shane Wheeler. He's been tackled by 3 defenders by the Sharks. Jordan in there again, along with Bauer.
Bendemeer have worked a good field position. Here's Allen, gives it on to Tim Taylor. Bendemeer playing good, consistent football
wind
now.
in their sails at the moment, Jim Miles. It's all
Comes his way to Taylor, the ball carrier, and McKellar's chance his arm at the intercept there is given 6 away as the lock forward. That's
Reed.
Jason Reed.
He absolutely bombed one then, I think, but still, we'll wait and see what happens in the next 4 tackles. He had his winger in unmarked outside.
You can't play it forward, I'm afraid. It's 2 times Bendemeer have fallen before. They can't play it forward. Delforce has said you must heel the ball back. And that is a pressure relieving penalty that the Sharks needed.
Yes, dead set right there, Jimmy. The Sharks are on the backward foot. The worst thing that ever happened to them was half-time, mate. I don't know. Anyway, Cleary's about to find Jordan. Jordan brings it in 5-10 metres. Tackled by Sampson from Bendemeer. Okay, Cleary moves into dummy half. He finds Gus Logue. One off the ruck. Gus takes it up another 2 or 3 metres into the
Sharks
Bendemeer.
lost the consistency. They need to be going in pairs. That's what got them so far front at half-time is...
Brendan Galvin has gone
Brendan
in
beats
pairs
and Galvin offloads to
Jakesy
to Cleary on to Chapman, who is
hit
absolutely
hard.
crunched by the 5'8". That's Tim Taylor. Plays it back now as Gearing gives it on to Gus Logue, puts his hand up for another ruck.
So Brendan Galvin's down in back play, mate. He's been
knocked out, I'd say.
He's not real good. Anyway, Sharks have kicked deep down into Bendemeer.
Position. Darcy and Galvin fold back to take the ball. That hasn't gone out. Did Galvin take that out? This will be a tough one for Delforce. Delforce is going to the touch judge, and the touch judge has said this is a line dropout. Young Aaron Galvin there for Bendemeer. 2 minds what to do there. He was absolutely taunted by that ball there. He, like me, thought it was a good thing to go over the touch in goal, but...
Matt Delforce did the right thing there, mate. He asked, he consulted in his touch judge, who ruled that it was forced out by Galvin, the Bendemeer winger.
Peter Darcy to take the line drop out here. And the Sharks all of a sudden are back into the part of the field they want. Gearing gloves the ball. Gearing will take this back to them. Not sure of a good hard run, and he does. He takes it back to him, beats the first. Is met by his opposite number, Tim Taylor, who says, OK, here's where it stops. Gearing now will play it to Jordan. Jordan shifts it left to Chapman. Chapman gives it no. He misses Mick.
Dummy to Mick Howe.
And
he's taken off. He's brought down by the Bendemeer defence. They're struggling with him at the moment. Cleary in a dummy half. Finds Jakes. Jakes has stood up all of a sudden and said, look at me. He's brought down 10 metres out right in front of the post. Craig Cleary in dummy half. Cleary's taken off in dummy half. Steps, Jinx, Woodabowl, Bradman.
Picks up Jakes.
Jakes.
One-on-one with Darcy. Has he beaten him? No. Darcy's done well there to hold him up with help from the hooker Fitzgerald. That's good defence from Bendemeer. They've come here again. McKellar says that'll be 6 to go if the Sharkies glove it. And they have done. Greg Hamilton, good safe hands there for 6 to go. Don't panic here, the Sharks. They just need to just do the right things here as Dave Jordan is caught by Darcy there in a good tackle. Who's this? Craig Cleary from dummy half. He'll be held up. No, he's short of the line. Gearing picks up a runner in Mick House, and House just short of the line again. Gearing going to dummy half.
Amazing defence by Bendemeer here at the moment, but they've given away a penalty. Well, let's see somebody give 10 in the bin, Jim. No.
I don't think so.
Delforce hasn't shown, no, just hanging on. He hasn't classed it as being a professional foul.
Maybe a little bit of experience. I don't think Captain Coach Dallas Taylor was completely in the fray there, but I think he's probably experienced as to hold that player down and give the penalty away rather than the 4 points. But they're going to have to do the hard work now.
Mick House just hit another one into the pack. Mick House standing up all of a sudden. Here's Gearin. Gearin is struggles, couldn't beat the Bendemeer defence, and he's brought down probably 3 metres from the line. Cleary searching. Darcy, Bendemeer fullback. He's closed the whole attack down. Anyway, Bendemeer now bring it out from their own line. Bendemeer have brought down probably 10 metres out through Jason Reid. This
is where the Bendemeer forwards need to put their hand up, and a couple of them are. And they're going to take it off their line. This is where the men are sorted out from the boys here. Bendemeer not moving from their game plan, and here's this, of course, Dallas Taylor's put his hand up and says, I will card it forward. He's gone back to Darcy, danger man. Is he outside his man? No, he's held well in the tackle this time. The Sharks have learnt, but Adam Logue is down in a lot of pain here. He's corked or hurt his knee there, I think, by the looks of it, as it goes back to the safe hands of Chapman. Chapman works to the left, dummies to Vaughan, and runs smack bang into the fence. I'm sure that's Adam Logue down there in back play.
It is Adam Logue, mate, yes. I think
the Sharks forward slow back to the ruck area. They need to get here, and they need now to put their hands up and put the pressure straight back on Bendemeer.
Okay. Jordo has found another 10 metres up, one off the ruck. Paid to Cleary to Gearin to Howth. Howth has made another 10 metres. Howth is making the right inroads, mate. just at the moment he's not trying to pop balls. Here's Faith. Anyway, Faith has made another 10 metres.
Well, Mickey House just come off the bench, Tick, and I'd say he's going to make every opportunity a winner while he's been given this 5-10 minutes or whatever they've given him. Gearing does a run around. This is on to Chapman. That was a great move by Gearing.
And Hyson shut Chapman down real well then. A good tackle by the Bendemeer centre.
6 tackle. They've turned the ball over. Sharks defence again needs to hold firm here. As the Bendemeer winger, I think that his Brian Booking's asked to bring it off his line. Forwards here need to work hard for Bendemeer, and it comes here to captain coach Dallas Taylor again. I'd like to know how many times he's hit the ball up, Tick.
Sorry, I should say McKellar made the tackle then.
Darcy himself from dummy half.
They've got to put a hit on this boy, mate, or he's going to run right.
It's bad signs there for Bendemeer. I heard one of the Bendemeer forwards say, take it up, Wendell, which obviously means Peter Darcy, and that's not a good sign if you're a Bendemeer player. Your forwards asking backs to do the work. But anyway, Bendemeer have made the most of this. There's a good passing movement here. Sees, I think this is number 11. This is Darren Rushbrook. Just caught. That's a 4th tackle from Delforce. Little sends it here to Dallas Taylor again. Dallas says, okay, there's not many home there.
Look who he's chipping for. He's chipping for
Peter Darcy, who unluckily has more luck than management there. Tick, if Darcy had gloved that correctly, he was just one-on-one with Chapman now, and it would have been the tussle for strength. Fullback on fullback. Again, Dallas Taylor knew his support player was looming there, took the option to the kick rather than the pass, and it nearly paid dividends. Now we're down in the danger area for the Sharks. They need to do the safe things here to get themselves out of their own quarter.
Sharks need to win this one and then make some good inroads into Bendemeer. Young Faithie's taken the first run off the ruck. He's brought down by the halfback for Bendemeer. Okay, here's Rob Jordan. He's always in there, mate. He's been working well all day today, Rob Jordan.
Yeah, pound for pound, Jordan will hold his own out there. He's a good footballer for such a small bloke.
Cleary's found Greg Hamilton. Greg Hamilton's...
He only knows one way. He picked up and lifted. Delforce said there's nothing in that. Cleary finds McKellar, who says let's get out of here. But no, McKellar's opted for the chip. Little will take this safely. That's good hands by Little. Oh, he fends off McKellar too. McKellar comes again and wraps him up. And they've driven him backwards, and now they're held.
Great defence by McKellar then.
Need to do more work and keep him here. McKellar blowing up at the referee. Little must have said something. He's pissing blood out of his nose again there, Tick. Little will have to go to the blood bin again, and that's exactly what Delforce is after at the moment.
So they sent Little to the blood bin at the moment.
Bad nose to have on a football field, as in boxing. I just say that smack earlier is just taking its toll now. Again, it's pouring out a little bit. Anyway, he'll be patched up again and be back on, as Dallas Taylor says again. I'll get us out of our half, and carts the ball hard forward consistently.
Okay, is this Reed their hooker? Yeah.
No, lock forward,
too.
yeah.
Sorry, lock forward. Jason Reed,
yeah. He's running a close second to Dallas Taylor at the moment in what I think is their pick. And
great defence by Darren McKellar.
And Johnny Allen too. That tackle need to be made. He's a good ball player. He's our halfback now as Dallas Thrift, and he works the downtown move over onto Rod Vaughan's wing. Bit of confusion here, but Vaughan takes it and
he steps up,
makes an opportunity. It's a good run from Vaughan already. Vaughan turns Dog Payne back inside. Payne will make every post a winner here. He's only got Jason Reed to beat, which he does, and he's running away now, but the Bendemeer defence is closing, but they won't get there, and Dog has scored left of the upright. That is a great try. A lot of tribute's got to be paid to Rod Vaughan there, who after a spiralling, bouncing ball, has taken upon himself to link up with Dog Payne, turn him back inside. Dog had found himself with the lock to beat. He's beaten him and then worked out that the cover just didn't have the legs on him, and has done the right thing there to score for the Sharks. A much needed and much deserved try. Good.
I've said it once earlier in the game and I'll say it again. Mark Payne, years one of the best opportunities in the game of rugby league. I really mean that. Fair dinkum, Group 21 first graders really should stand up and have a look at this boy. Why he's not running around in first grade is only due to nothing but politics anyway, which we won't get into. But the point of the matter is that sort of stuff that's inspirational. This might be what the Sharks need right at the right time, because up until that sort of play, they were sort of on the backward step from Bendemeer. Bendemeer have come out after half-time throwing them everything, and then you go and see something like that, you know. But yes, Jim, what you said, Rod Vaughan, he did everything right then. He beat his opposite, then he went to the wing. He took 2 or 3 players with him and then put Mark Payne into the clear. Mate, this is good football.
Yeah, again, Rod, and I hate to harp on it, field position there for the Sharks was important. I thought they'd have just taken the option, just carted back in and worked for 6 to field position. But like you say, when you've got an opportunist in your side like Mark Payne and he's given the opportunity, good broken field runner, I'd like to see a replay on that and see where Peter Darcy was, because that would have been a good matchup. Darcy's body strength against Payne's determination to score that try. As Payne moves in and he's converted it, that's exactly what the Sharks needed.
Exactly. That puts them 8 points clear, Jim, but
yep.
More importantly, it might be just, you know, one of those little things they need to see.
Yep.
The 8-point buffer's always something, but I tell you what, this game's far from over.
Oh, it's wide open
a game
now
at the stadium, ladies and gentlemen.
And what a cracking game for the Group 21 officials to see kick off this great day out here at Bendemeer. It looked like being a bit lopsided there at half-time, but to their credit, the Bendemeer boys have come back out in the second half, put their hand up and said, hey, this is grand final day, we're here and we're going to make a show of it. Rod Tickle, in grand finals though, you've got to have Blake strive for that extra yard, dive to make that tackle, catch the ball cleanly, and talk well in defence, as we see the Sharks make an error here, and Bendemeer have, I'll get back to that point I was going to make there, Tick, as Bendemeer have taken the ball and they opt on a blindside scoot through Brett Lapham there, and the Sharks have done a silly here as Mark Payne wants to take it on with Lapham. Lapham gets up swinging. I think the penalty in the first instance will go against the Sharks, but I don't know what's going to happen here. Mick Howarth has stepped up and said, I want a part of this. And it's on for young and old here, as you can't tell who's trying to separate who from who, but something must happen in there for Mick Howarth to get sent. I would say, if I'm a reasonable judge, Mick Howarth might do time for being perhaps the third man in there, and so might his counterpart there in that argument. I think it was the cheeky young halfback Dallas Thrift, unless I'm mistaken. Unfortunately, young Thrift and Mick Howarth might find themselves doing time there purely just for carrying on when the referee had called the play to a halt. Now, I think in the first instance, the knock-on was there from the kickoff. That shouldn't happen. The Sharks didn't need that at this stage of the game, Rod Tickle, as we were just talking about field position.
Jim, I don't think the Sharks needed that right then, mate. I think they turned the corner with that great individual work by Mark Payne. This side of Bendemeer, just watching today, every time they put a bit more fight and biffo in, they seem to lift from it. Not saying the Sharks back down.
Payne heading to the sideline.
Never back down.
Yep.
But
as Payne heads to the sideline for 10 minutes, I think it looks like Lapham will join him as the two first blokes. Payne bleeding a bit there. Lapham wanting to argue the point, but no, Delforce is stuck by his gun. And Mick Howarth has been sent as well, so he'll be going for being third man in, as I predicted there. Dallas Thrift obviously has been deemed there to be just on the receiving end, so he hasn't done any time there. That'll hurt the Sharks. 2 players off.
Yeah, but one's replaced. Mark Payne was he's in the blood bin, mate. I think you're fine.
I've read that wrong there. Yep. As Mick Howarth reports to the bin here for his 10-minute stint. Lapham coming over to join him here.
Anyway, we now have Bendemeer right on attack here all of a sudden.
That's 12 aside, you read that, Tick.
12 aside, and we have Bendemeer sort of moving in.
Allen moves to Taylor. Taylor drops that.
It was not a good ball to Taylor, actually.
No, but you won't see him do that too often today or any other day. A very consistent player. They're just unlucky. Bendemeer needed to put that pressure on the Sharks. And now the Sharks need to respond with a good set of 6 out of their own danger zone. I see Corey Galvin on the blind side there now, replacement. As Gearing works the ball to the open here through Chapman, stutters and pulls up just probably on about the quarter line there, the 20-metre mark. He'll play this back to Gearing now. Not too many forwards with their hands in the air for the Sharks here as it comes through Jeff Bauer. He's been asked to do some work and he will respond accordingly, and that's a good run. Cleary steps into dummy half now. He'll work the blind here to, this is Rod Vaughan's been asked to do some work. He skirts the blind and the touch line here. A little bit of experience there, Vaughany, but he's made up for that, and he stepped back into Jakes, passes on to Cleary.
Cleary to Jordo. Jordo's made another little bumping 5-10 metre run, which he's done all day today. He's really stood up today. Good
Like
on
I said, pound for pound, he's probably one of the hardest footballers out there, Rod Tickle.
Guerin's found Frankie Beckingham out there.
He stutters and takes him on outside.
He's stayed in the field of play. He must be flirting with the sideline down there as well. Anyway, Cleary's
Chapman will go down.
Sorry.
Oh, it's beaten Darcy this. Oh, no. And
Darcy to bring the ball back. Here goes Darcy.
To the blind. And
Once
Frank
again,
Beckingham's met the challenge there.
Once again, Darcy looks good with the ball in his hand, mate.
Brings the crowd to his feet as soon as he touches the football, Rod Tickle, and that's a sign of a good footballer. You've got a lot of respect out there. Flick back inside, and Darcy was not expecting that, and he's knocked that on.
No.
Belforce has picked it up.
That wasn't the ball for Darcy. It wasn't his fault, mate. Whoever flicked the ball back, which I think was Allen, has flicked it back to him, and he was not ready for it. So anyway, we now have a scrum going down 25 metres out from their own line.
Corey Galvin being replaced, been called from the field. Darren McKellar to go on. The touch judge watching this here closely. I don't know what's gone on there.
I think they have to do that. We need to get the Sharks need to get as many experienced players as they can out there in the paddock, because at the moment you've got blokes like Hamilton, Gushlogue, Mark Payne all sitting down on the sideline, so they had to get Darren McKellar back on the paddock. Great move by the bench.
A little bit of concern too in the Bendemeer camp with Lapham doing time on the sideline here. And also Stuart Little, the try scorer and goal kicker,
anyway,
still in the blood bin.
Jeff Bauer's just brought down 3 metres short of the line there, and we've got Cleary in a dummy half. Cleary's tried to...
And he scored. Cleary scored. He's got the old octopus arm out there, and he scored.
Mate, I watched all of that, and I still haven't seen him put that down, but still...
It clears up body strength there, holding himself up in the tackle there, holding off the defenders. A Bendemeer player's been called out here. And
when the going gets tough, the tough get going on. Tough, tough. When the going gets tough, the tough get
He's been sent for 10 minutes. I'd say dissent there. Bit of dissent to the referee as another Bendemeer. This is a shame for Bendemeer. Already got Lapham in the bin here, Little in the blood bin, and now another forward making his way for a 10-minute spell, which is unfortunate for the Bendemeer player. Having a little bit to say to Jeff Thompson there. Jeff Thompson will smile, probably can't believe it himself. Who is this? This must be...
I'll tell you what, mate. We talked about we needed some experienced players out on the paddock, and we needed to see some experienced players left. But Craig Cleary, mate, I can remember. I think he's done that in every grand final that he's played with the Sharks in one way or another. He's just his little work from dummy half is incredible. How he got over there, and I still don't know, but
it's Paul,
he's over, mate.
Paul Hyson's been sent to the bin now. Wasn't a forward, so now we have, unfortunately for the Bendemeer side, we have Hyson and Lapham in the bin here. Lapham can't be too far from resuming play. Faith's kicked that.
Faith's kicked that, mate. That has now put them 14 points.
Sharks now with a 14-point lead. Again, Tick. They went into the break with a 10-point lead, looking comfortable. I'm a bit like you now. They don't need to rest on their laurels. Bendemeer will start with good field position. One player down, no. The Sharks do not need to panic and try to stretch it wide every time they have the ball. They need to lock the Bendemeer defenders up in close to the middle and then stretch it wide on the ladder.
Bendemeer show how dangerous they are. They scored 12 points in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, mate. So this game's nowhere near over. I don't think it will be, especially while you've got blokes like Darcy out there on the paddock. Still, Sharks have now moved it out. Here we go through
Galvin
back on the paddock. Now that's a good sign for the Sharkies.
It's early tackles and they're sending it wide. It's great hands from Jeff Bauer. Enemy grass 10 in from number 6 doing. That's Jamie Beard. That's a good tackle from Jamie Beard as Faith gloves a dangerous ball and takes one forward. Beats Tim Taylor. Dummies, beats a fellow Ty. Gives it on to McKellar who steps Darcy, and that is a great try.
Mate, I think the Sharks have now come alive. They've stepped up here and said, hey, we can win this. Great work by Faithy then.
Bendemeer will be doing it tough with the shortage of players, but again you can say that is their own fault. I was surprised there. McKellar, a great step to beat Darcy, who I think probably out there one-on-one. That'll be a rarity seeing him miss that tackle. Taylor's now got the troops at the line there.
Darren McKellar's actually down behind the line too, Jimmy. I think it might only be...
He's probably
might only be
cramped.
cramped, but yeah, that's okay to see.
Taylor not at all impressed with his side at the moment. It looks like Jason Reed talking to the troops in there. I know that's now a fair lead the Sharks have, but I know that Bendemeer won't lay down. We saw as they come out in the second half there, they lifted their game, they put their hand up. There's a lot of blokes that said, okay, there is a game to be played here. I think this would be just what Reed and Taylor are saying to their troops. Darcy, hands on hips, heads down. He needs to get his head back up because for 10 minutes there he took the game by the scruff of the neck and controlled this Group 21 second grade grand final. He needs to again put that behind him, come out after this kick-off. They need to defend for a good set of 6 and get the ball back into their hand to turn things around for himself.
Once again, experience, putting someone like Darren McKellar back on the paddock, mate. That was great work by him. Stephen Faith did all the hard work. Darren stepped at the right time to put the ball under the post. They've turned it now into 6-pointer.
Well, if coming back to halfway is any sign for Bendemeer, they are not mucking around. They are making quick time back to halfway.
I think you'll find they'll go off the play that they've been using, the little grubber kick off from the halfway mark. They've nearly scored once, they've regained once, and they've caused havoc on more than one occasion as well.
In that try to tick the overlap paid havoc there, where Ty had to take option there, went for the intercept. If he'd caught it, I think Bendemeer might have scored the other end, but unfortunately because his numbers are short outside him, he had to try for that intercept, was beaten with a dummy for the Sharks to score. As Vaughan,
here goes Vaughan.
Vaughan takes off from dummy
wrong today. I reckon he's absolutely been a fantastic replacement.
He's probably the find of the season. I've been impressed with every game I've seen him play, Rod, and he's got to be in lines for a few of the rewards at the Sharks presentation night next week.
Gus Logue hit it up another 10 metres in. He's right on halfway at the moment, mate. Here we go. Here's Wayne Jakes. Jakesy, this bloke.
Here's the experience of Cleary and Jakes there. Cleary knowing that there's no nonsense. He's asked Jakes to take one up there hard, and Jakes has done. Now he's working back with another experienced player, Brendan Galvin, who has made very cheap yards there. And again, this is only because Bendemeer haven't got the numbers. He's offloaded to Jakes. Jakes' step. We'll see him score. Carry Darcy over the line.
Mate, Brendan Galvin, Jakesy, and Clearser for that matter. Three of them just then took on a passage of play.
Yep. McKellar returned to the field. I think you've got to see there where Cleary's, as you said, has taken upon himself, as he does in most grand finals or most games you see him play. He said, okay, all we need to do is do the percentage things here against a team that unfortunately is depleted in playing staff at the moment because of two blokes in the bin. Ask his experienced players to put their hand up, cart the ball forward. It started with the youngster Vaughan making good yards. He's obviously learnt from the opportunist inside him on Dog Payne. He's taken the opportunity there to skirt through a little gap and set it up for the experienced players to cart it forward there to score a great try.
Yeah, a lot of good work there done by Jakesy. As we said, Clear's ability just to dictate the play, just to be able to read it and do the right things at the right time. There's some experience here, and this is a good building on a great club. It's good to see the Sharkies doing well.
Well, the party's just about to end for the Sharks too, as Lapham, watching the clock here, must be due any minute to go back on. So after this kick's gone, he'll be back on the paddock, and that'll add some more guts back into the Bendemeer pack, as faith converts that try to extend that lead even further now. But I'm here to tell you, Lapham has this very mean look on his face, and he will put some guts back into the pack as he hurdles the rope now to go back on. And Mick Howarth joins him back into the fray now. This could be just what Bendemeer need, a little bit more starch. Good field, they need a big deep kick here and to pin the Sharks in their own quarter.
Oh, that's a great effort by Gus Logue, but I think he's hurt his leg big time.
Actually, that is very bad, that. I don't like the looks of that. His leg's taken an awful twist.
Did you see
in the
that,
wrong
mate?
direction
Yeah.
there. I don't like the looks of that, Tick.
No, that's no good. I
He
think
stepped in something just a little bit off even over on that side of the paddock, and that just flexed his leg in a direction that it wasn't supposed to go. That's unfortunate for... If it is Gus Logue, it is.
I'm sure it's Gus
Yeah,
Logue,
I'm
mate.
pretty sure.
He's been playing real well too, just quietly.
Bad knee anyway a few seasons ago. See him come back and make a return to the Sharks camp, and this will be a tragedy if he has to leave the field now.
I think what we're going to see in that... No, he's up. That's a good sign. That is a great sign, because I thought we were going to see...
Not as bad as first thought, but he will leave the field. I'd just say he probably rolled on his ankle out there fast. So just there's some vocal support coming from the Sharks grandstand over there.
Have a look at those two trucks over there and all that's in front of it, mate. You know, this is what the game's all about. Looking after your crowd, looking after your spectators. Craig Cleary's just taken a nice bump and Jocelyn run. And
To the blind.
He's stepping up to Dallas Taylor, mate. I'll tell you, that Dallas Taylor can go too, just quietly. I've heard of him up in the Werris Creek Corindai area. Very strong man. Anyway, Sharks are now just sort of...
Lapham back on the paddock there, adding a bit of starch. Like I said, he'll put some mongrel back in the pack, but he didn't need to give that penalty away as the Bendemeer crowd now respond to the Sharks crowd over there.
Frustration starting to
Creep
seek
in.
into the Bendemeer side, mate. They're starting to look at the scoreboard and knowing that time is against them at the moment. But on the other side of the ledger, the Sharks have got wind in their sails again, mate, which is what we need to see. Now, this will be a good hit out by Big Mick Howarth. He, once again, attracts 4 defenders, brought down
By Taylor around the ankle.
30 metres out. Keller to Gearing to... Who we got there? Greg Hamilton, mate.
Of course.
Yeah, Greggy's been in everything today too. Just a quiet achiever out there today, but you need blokes like that just to keep doing the hard yards. Jordo, he's another one, mate. He's made another 5-10 metres up off the ruck. Cleary in at dummy half.
Sends it back to Gearing in the blind here. There's a chip. Oh, that's great hands.
Gearing tried a little chip, look one way, chip inside, but it was read well by Tim Taylor. From
No,
Bendemeer.
I don't think
Was
it was Taylor.
Turn around, it was a
It's
winger actually.
young Aaron Galvin. So, again, with good. That's Frank Beckingham being asked to take a difficult kick over the back of his head. He's tackled well by Dallas Thrift. His face spotted something down the blind here. Turns Taylor inside out, gives it back to Beckingham. He's done well to back him up. Beckingham is slammed to the ground. That'll be by Lapham. He's lost the ball. And Delforce has said...
Scrum it.
He's lost it.
Yeah, he said
basically
he's lost it clean. So you're going to see a Bendemeer feed and Bendemeer loose head.
Smiles all around on the officials table here too, as Ron Lanesbury and Leon Pagg know that this is the start they needed to the Group 21 Grand Final this year after the controversy of a few weeks ago. And this is a great crowd out here.
If you look around the crowd, mate, it's absolutely... We talked about 4 or 5 deep. We're now looking 10 deep, mate, out behind us. It's absolutely great sight. Hey, this is a win against the head for...
Gearing takes him on, draws, passes Beckingham. Beckingham will go very close here.
Forward pass called.
Delforce has got the from the touch judge, yeah. Got a good call from the touch judge there for a forward pass. Accidentally forward, so it's a scrum. There's no penalty involved there. Come back, Bendemeer will be asked again to bring it out of their own quarter. Like you say, Tick, there's a strong contingent of Muswellbrook Rams supporters behind us.
Which is good to see, actually.
Dem and people everywhere.
A lot of Scone supporters there. They're featuring in the under-18s and the reserve grade.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a good mixture for the group.
Good mixture of football crowd here today, and they'll be entertained right through to first grade.
Okay.
Oh, that's a dangerous no. Delforce has been consistent. He's let that lifted player as Dallas Taylor takes
it good hard football all
to
day.
the right here and is met with a good wall of defence. The Sharks have learnt now not to let
There's
this
a
man
big hit
run
by Greg Hamilton then, mate, on Taylor. Taylor's been doing a lot of work all day, and Greg Hamilton was equal to the task towards the end. Galvin's making a tackle now on the halfback for Bendemeer. We now see Peter Darcy move into dummy half. Darcy's looking for Taylor again. Look, he only made a tackle took it up 2 plays ago, and there he is, still running towards the end of the game. He's a big man, and he's just been out there all day.
Darcy down, Townsend over to Beckingham. Beckingham, just as equal, takes it straight in the chest and puts the head down and carts it back into him. There's a hooter tick.
She's all over.
That is a convincing win to the Sharks.
Yep.
Bendemeer can hold their head high though. They've done exceptionally well this season, coming out of Group 4 to make up numbers in a depleted Group 21 competition. Scenes there as Mick Jordan congratulated by Phil Wallace, Rob Beckingham. The trucks over the other side have come alive.
Well, there you go. I still thought there was about 5 minutes to go in that game. She got away on me, mate, but still a good, entertaining game of football. Full-time score, they rack it up on the site, on the board there at 42-16. Jim, I don't think that is correct, mate. I think it was more around the mid-30s.
Yeah, Steve Goodwin, just wait for the calculator's table to confirm this. Delphos trudges off the field. Delphos had a fine game there in the middle of the day, as the Sharks supporters, the Sharks players still greeted by committee men on the paddock and ball boys, etc. The trucks are alive, everyone on their feet. Be a big night at Muswellbrook Hotel tonight, Rod Tickle.
I'd say once again the place will go off, mate. Matty Delphos about to sign the book off to finish off the third grade fixture. I think Matt had a great game out there today. There was no controversy in it. No. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving out there, but still that's what rugby league's all about, Jim.
Again, Rod, I'd like to pay tribute to the Bendemeer players as they now go over to support their large contingent that have made this big trip today. They have had a superb season. I hope for Group 21 sake they return to the Valleys competition next year. They can hold their head high. There are some classy players in there. I've been impressed with them across the paddock today, and even in a beaten side, I think their captain coach Dallas Taylor and their lock forward Jason Reed can hold their head high, and if they don't figure prominently in Man of the Match awards this afternoon, I'm no judge.
If you want to throw Peter Darcy in there for the Bendemeer, the fullback for Bendemeer, he tried everything he could there today.
I think too, Bendemeer will look at this tape in the weeks to come, and Darcy will probably look at his own game, be able to hold his head up high for a 10-minute patch there where he played exceptionally well, where he took the game by the scruff of the neck, but I think he will also have it in the back of his mind in the weeks to come that if he sustained that attitude for the balance of the second half, his side might have either turned the game around completely in their favour, or the scoreline the margin would have been drastically reduced to what it is at the moment. I'm very impressed with their play, the way they send each other around the park. I think playing in number 17, John Allen, had a fine game. He's a good carrier of the ball. He holds it out in front of him, puts the defence in two minds. And like I said, they can hold their head high. They've played an exceptional game here today, and they've had an exceptional year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anyway,
but let's not take anything away from the Sharks. So they're deserved winners.
The credit due is the Sharky boys are over there. I think the same thing as what happened at half time, mate, what we talked about. The whole 13 of them, the whole 17 of them stood up today and was counted. There was experience shone through in blokes like Mark Payne, of course, with his 2 individual tries. Darren McKellar, Craig Cleary, absolutely just called the shots perfectly all day. But in all, mate, a great team effort. You've got to give it credit where the credit's due, and the whole team really stood up and played well.
So in hindsight, Tick, you think, where would you say that the game was won and lost? Any crucial time periods during the game?
I think the first half, Bendemeer sort of didn't get into the game. It took them a long time to get into the game, but then really what happened was when they finally fired into the second half, the first 10 minutes of the second half, it then took someone like the experience of the Sharkies, or the whole side in fact, just to step up and say, well look, we've got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, and they did. They rose to the occasion, and next thing you know, they did, and they shone through in the end.
And your pick for man of the match, Rod Tickle, would be?
Oh, mate. Someone like Mark Payne or Craig Cleary. I like the way Craig Cleary just stood, steered the side around all day. I think he was instrumental in his defence, mate. His defence was there, and it plugged up the gaps all day. So I'd go to Craig Cleary.
I like Craig Cleary, but I'm going to throw a bolter in here. If Dallas Taylor standing down in front of us now with a well-earned 2, if he doesn't get it, I'm no judge. I think the upset here today for man of the match might go to this bloke here.
Yeah, well, you're right. But he was probably a standout for Bendemeer, but he was a standout in a losing side.
Yep.
Someone had to step up for Bendemeer.
Yep.
He did. I don't know. I'm still going to go with Craig Cleary, but we'll wait and see.
Yep. You might be quiet for a minute now as the Group 21 official is going to talk now, make the presentation, so we'll just let the pitchers do the talking and we'll conclude in a short moment.
No, I'll take it.
Bendemeer boys, I'm very fortunate here. Really did very hard to come against you. Thanks for your lead. It's great to lead for all our supporters. The Muswellbrook coach, our players, our families, everyone.
There you go, Jim Miles. Wayne Jakes was the winner of the Players Award for the third grade fixture. I thought it was a little bit of a boulder, but still he had a great individual game in a lot of ways, but still he set up a couple of good tries too.
His hand up when he needed to put his hand up, did the hard work.
He did.
It's a great win for the Sharks there. Denied again early on in the year for their first come back and said, okay, let's just play football and finally get to the grand final, and now doing the victory lap. Well-deserved victory lap too for the Sharks. Congratulations to their captain coaches there, Darren McKellar and Justin Chapman, in a well-earned victory and a great season.
Yep, a good year for the Sharkies. Good to see them bounce back after the controversy that took place over the previous 12 months. Good on them, and we might leave it at that, eh?
Yep, and see you at the pub.
That you will, mate.
We are the champions.